over here a little bit. What kind of jobs are out there? So two of the fastest, we've got the top 5 fastest occupations listed, but what you can see is they're really centered in 2 categories. Healthcare, right, as we have a more aging population, more healthcare needs are there, so people in the healthcare market, there's a high demand in lots of different areas, nursing, assistance, areas like that, excuse me, as well as in the IT sector. As technology improves, companies need more technology folks to come help them support the systems that they have that are helping run their business day to day. So computer software engineers, network systems analysts, those are some of the hottest markets that companies are looking for today as they go out and search for talent in the US. Unemployment rates. This is a hot topic, right? Everybody knows that the unemployment rate has done what since January? Has risen, right? Anybody know what the unemployment rate is as of July? Without looking at the chart? 5.7%. 5.7%, which is the highest it's been since the dot-com bust, which was in 2000. Is really that the start of what was continual job growth in the U.S. until January of this year, and then every month since then, the U.S. economy has, when they exclude farm payrolls, has lost jobs from here on out. Now, before we got to January 08, anybody want to take a guess at how many months consecutively that job growth had gone positive in the U.S.? Any guesses?
6 months.
Okay, so there's 6 months. What else? It's not all on the chart, so the answer is deeper. Any questions on this? Okay. Okay, so market good news and bad news. Okay. Anybody know who Kathleen Casey Kirschling is? Security, retirement, those things are coming. What's that going to mean for the workforce? Anybody have any guesses? Lots of jobs, right? Lots of jobs available. So let's put some numbers to that in a little gift for this one. Anybody can get it?
20,000.
20,000? Any other guesses?
60,000.
60,000?
45.
Yeah, that's a lot of companies. No, not 52.
I mean, not
51,000 people lost. Total payroll reduction was 51,000.
51,000.
So we talked about the math of the baby boomers retiring, so let's get into that a little bit. Over 20 years, okay, 80 million people are Social Security eligible, which means they're reaching either 62. Okay? When you add in the number of college grads that are earning a bachelor's like yourself, associate's or master's degree every year, that's 2.7 million. So you've got 4 million people leaving. There's going to be an absolute boom on the job market for people who have the right skill set and experience, okay, to replace the baby boomer generation. No matter what kind of economy we have or what you hear about what's going on in the paper, college graduates are being recruited by companies, okay? And so we've got some stats here to talk about that. 72% of those, in fact, are of companies that were surveyed in the Career Builder survey that was done say they are going to go after college graduates this year, okay? So 3/4 of the companies out there are attracting a lot of college graduates this year. Now, I would not have expected that number to be that high, but 1 in 3 of you in this room, on average, based on our survey, will go out into a small company that's 100 people or less. It's time to find your career area. We talk about differentiation a lot in terms of business, in terms of their product sector, in terms of their product offering, in terms of their customer service, their technology, things of that area. Well, as those things are all very important because it gives you a level of expertise to build from. And you can take that expertise to a company and become a valuable member, okay? Be selective when choosing your job sector. So we talked about all this unemployment, right, gone under IndyMac and some of the others. We talked about mortgage companies, right? Places like Countrywide have taken a huge hit. Wachovia. Manufacturing has taken a huge beating, right? But they're to drive that top line revenue to their organization, right? And as well as we talked about IT, right? IT services, anybody in IT here? Or computer technology of any kind? No? That's another one that is up in 2008. So it's stratified by sector. We're seeing some from CareerBuilder.com. We didn't want to make it seem like we were biased, so we went out and got some numbers. Well, of course they're coming to CareerBuilder, right? Well, what we're showing here is more of a more general look, but 81% of people are visiting company websites, checking job postings on sites, networking. So you can see that the top ways to search for a job are all on the internet. Claudia is going to talk to you about Career Builder and what we offer to that, but there are a lot of different ways to recruit for college graduates. We talked about 72% of them said they were. 58% say they're going to do that this year, okay, which is down from last year. 39% say they're going to increase salaries, which is down just a little bit. 58% say it'll be 30 grand or more. Now, the industry or the sector you're searching for, but this just gives you a general idea that it has affected the economy, but by and large, over half are going, over 3/4 are going to hire college grads, and about 40% are going to increase the salary level to which they're paying those people, if that makes sense as well. So you hear certain, as some retailers are doing better than others, but certainly retail as a whole, it continues to grow. And I think you could, okay. Let's talk about the interviewing process and college grads and what advice we give you or tips and techniques, or maybe tip for 15 years. And I can tell you, I hire at the management level now, and people who haven't done their research on the company, it's one of the first 3 or 4 questions I ask. Say what attracted you to this position with our company, just to see what kind of research they've done. If they don't have that, I know they haven't really taken this very seriously. Okay? Not turning off cell phones. Now, do you think that would be that'd probably be a big no-no, right? Okay. I'm going to come back to you at the end. Most of the time, you're going to get an indication of where companies are money-wise, and you can make a determination in your own head if it's close to where you want to be. You may not know the exact number, but you may know the range, and you also may know if that works for you or not. My advice to you all is you'll get there in the process and just to wait it out. I would say this, the one I wanted to make sure that you guys says, no good, comes in the interview, answers all the questions, and then says, nope, I don't have any questions for you. To me says, I'm not sure that they've done their research. I'm not sure they're all that interested. I'm not sure that they take it seriously enough and are the kind of employee that I'd want to have as well. Does that make sense to everybody? That's just a tip from me to you. That's a big one to me, okay? They have cover letters that they use. And yeah, if you're carpet bombing, a bunch of jobs, it would be tempting to just send sort of the same resume out or the same cover letter. My advice is to have 2 or 3 resumes, right, that are tweaked to the kind of jobs you're looking for. Customize your cover letters to the people you're talking to reference something in the interview that you talked about, or reference something in the job posting you saw that's a match. Make sure it looks and sounds like you took the time to make this different for them. Leverage the internet. There's any number of ways to connect to people. Facebook had last month 134 million unique visitors last month, right? So companies know that people are putting their information out there on the internet about themselves in some sort of social network setting, which is fine. But what everyone in the room needs to understand here is that your employer or your future employer can go look and make a judgment based on what's off there. It's probably a good idea, if you're utilizing those sites, or if you're utilizing a LinkedIn or a Plaxo, or do I have Brightviews? That's our personal. What are some of the other ones that are out there? All I'm trying to say is make sure that people are getting a clear picture of you as a professional out there, right? Some of that is social and it's more for non-work, but that doesn't mean people aren't going to go look at it, if that makes sense. Okay. How about let's talk about stuff from the resume as they're screening through all these people that they get, right? What are they going to look for?
What skills you have?
Skill qualifications. Have they done this before with a similar type company, or a company that's a competitor, or somebody we respect that does it right? Right? That's absolutely right. What else?
Proper education.
We talked about, education. We should talk about education, right? You guys have just got done with your programs. Job hopping is a big deal, right? And job hopping is interesting because this isn't 25 years ago where people stayed with the same company for 30. So people have to keep, and I try and keep that in mind too. companies shut down. There's been more layoffs. There's been things going on. I've been downsized. I'm good at their jobs and that reliable, right? So let's see what they said here. Self-starter, right? So demonstrating on your resume your self-starter is a big deal. Started this program, took this initiative. Here were the results from it, right? Critical thinking skills. I think every email and that's internal communication and that's external as well. You have to be have excellent communication skills, and obviously motivation, right? Yeah. Anybody here not motivated? No, right? We're all very motivated by the right job and the right career and the right company and the right opportunity. Some of us are motivated by interacting with customers. Some of us are motivated by making the trains run on time behind the scenes. But whatever that is, that's what you need to bring out and highlight on your resume. One more. You guys ready for one more? Mm-hmm. Okay. Most influential factors in hiring recent college graduates. What do you think those are?